Hey guys, welcome back. I have another favorites video for you guys today that I decided to do for the end of the year. Hopefully you all had a wonderful Christmas and we're moving on to New Year's. I wanted to do a top 10 favorites of 2023 video for you guys this year. I'm hoping to make this a series every year. Last year I just posted, I think it was my top 5 on Instagram as reels, and that was really fun and you guys enjoyed that, I think. And this year I just wanted to make it a YouTube video as well and talk about my top 10 polishes. I will be having them in order, so my favorite's gonna be number 1. Okay, so first I'm going to talk about what's on my nails, and this is one from last year from the Morgan Taylor I Want to Dance With Somebody collection. I believe it was 2022, and this is called Signature Sound. So I love this kind of tan nude shade. This is not one of my favorites. I thought about wearing one of my favorites, but first of all, I didn't want to give anything away. I wanted them to all be a surprise, and then especially down to my number 1, so I didn't want to wear my number 1 polish, so I just picked a neutral shade that I loved, and I love to wear those this time of year, especially with a sweater like this. And I will link this sweater down below. I got it for Christmas, I believe. Yeah, it is from American Eagle, and I'll put a link to it. I love it so much. I've been looking for something that's kind of a washed out denim like this for quite some time, so when I saw this sweater, I snagged it, and it was my Christmas present. On my lips, I'm wearing Talkback by Urban Decay. I'm not sure if it's still available or not, but I will link it down below. Okay, so let's kind of refresh our memories about my favorites. Last year, I kept getting them mixed up. I kept thinking Clay Dreaming was my favorite, and it was so hard to narrow it down, and it was very hard to narrow it down this year, too. I think the year before last, I just knew what my favorite was, and it was Kaleidoscope Eyes, and it was my favorite just for so long, and so it was easy, but it's been a little bit harder the last couple years. So this was my number 3. Let's just review them a little bit. And then my second one was Transition Piece, which I really love, and I talked about this recently in my favorite browns video that I posted probably last month, or maybe was it this month? I can't remember. But anyway, this is a fantastic polish too. I love this neutral. And then my number 1 was Tailored For You by Morgan Taylor. So I kept getting them mixed up on which one was my top. But this is my number 1 that I picked. And as you can see, it kind of changes whatever I'm in the mood for. So you can see last year I was in the mood for a lot of kind of muted fall shades. This year is pretty typical for what I choose. I tend to like a lot of bright kind of summery colors, so that's a little hint on what's my favorites for this year. We've had quite a few great collections throughout this year. There was quite a few that I wanted to stick in there, but I really stuck it to 10. But throughout this video I'll mention some other ones and throw out some honorable mentions, so I'll probably mention at least 20 polishes in here, if not more, but these are definitely my favorite out of all of them. I laid them all out and decided which ones I liked the best and then put them in order. This is what we have, so let's get into it. I'm going to start out with this Beauty. This is Lights Down, Music Up from the Essie Fall collection for 2023, the Step Out of Line collection. And I love this polish, and the reason I love it is because it is a brown. It's kind of a red tone brown, but it has a hint of purple in it too, so it makes it just a little bit different, and it's muted and a little bit moody and smoky, and I love it so much. So sometimes in different lights it looks a little bit different in color, which is what I really love about nail polishes, and so this is one of my favorites. And this was in my favorite brown video as well that I posted, and I'll put a link to the videos that I mentioned down below so that you have those. But I love the formula on this one. It just goes on like a dream, and it's such a great one. For my 10 spot, I was trying to decide between this one and Unraveling Story from Orly from their Plot Twist collection, and that one's kind of a gray bluish, and I love that one too, but I just liked this one a little bit more. Another brown that I loved was Hot Toddy Naughty, and that was a really good one from the OPI collection that had some shimmer in it, but you know me, I'm a cream girl at heart, and so I like this one better than that one, but that one's a really great brown too, and hopefully you guys pick that one up from the OPI collection this winter. But I love this one so much. Then from the OPI Wrap It Up Holiday collection from this year is Peppermint Bark and Bite, and this one is so beautiful, and I love how deep and rich the color is, and it's this nice kind of olive leaning green, but it's so dark it's almost black, and then it has these beautiful kind of subtle sporadic shimmers in there that are just so beautiful and fun for the holidays when you want to get dressed up. I think that the idea of this for Christmas or New Year's or just this time of year, and so I thought this one was super fun. There's some other green ones that I really loved too. Let's Scrooge was a good one that I was trying to decide, but overall I picked this one compared to that one, but that one's really fantastic as well. I also loved Olive in June, One for You, Two for Me, I believe that's the name, and that's kind of a corelli green green, and that one almost made it in the cut, but I just really liked this one more just because I felt like it was a little bit different, but those other ones are fantastic too. And then another one from the Essie Step Out of Line fall collection this last year was the Namesake Step Out of Line, and it's a beautiful blue. It's just rich and inky and beautiful. The swatch of this is just gorgeous. I love how it goes on, and I love that it has just a touch of purple in it. It has a brightness to it as well, and you can definitely tell that it's blue on the nail, and I would definitely wear a base coat with this one because I think it might have a potential to stain, but I didn't think it was anything too crazy when I was swatching it. But I love this one so much. It's a beautiful inky blue. Essie does such a great job with their navies. Essie also came out with their Love line. So their plant-based line this year was released, I believe, in July this year. So many great polishes. Another green one. I have some greens coming up that I wanted to stick in here, but I didn't. This is probably my favorite from that line just because I have been wanting Essie to come out with a very pale yellow in their mainstream line, and they have come out with a few, but this one, called On the Brighter Side, is a little bit brighter and whiter and not as murky. It's not a strong leaning yellow. It's really pale and soft, and that's exactly what I wanted. I know the Essie Gel Couture line has one, but I really wanted one from this regular Essie line, and this one just satisfied that craving for me, which I've been having for several years. So I'm really happy with this one, and I'm glad they came out with it. Let me know if you guys picked it up when I talked about in the Essie Love line, because I haven't talked about that line since, really, and I'm excited to wear this one in the spring because that's typically when I wear shades like this. So I'll definitely be putting this one on, and I just wanted to add it to my favorites. Next up is Make Outside from the OPI Summer collection for 2023. They came out with two of these cool toned pinks, which I was super happy about because the OPI line has a ton of pinks, but they are a little bit more warmer leaning, so I feel like they needed to add some cooler toned ones, so I was excited that they did, and these were pretty much the best polishes in my opinion out of the entire collection, because a lot of the polishes they've been coming out with are kind of like more sheer shimmery shades that can be toppers, or you just build them up with like 3 coats. And so I was happy that they came out with these ones, and this is my favorite out of the two. They're both really great though. I think the other one's called I Quit My Day Job, but this one's was the one that I settled on overall. But anyway, I feel like OPI was just okay this year. I didn't have a lot of favorites. In fact, I only have 2 OPI out of all of these. I feel like Essie did a little bit better job. So I'm hoping OPI is going to step it up a little bit this year, at least in my opinion. I know a lot of people probably liked the polishes that they came out with this year, but that's just my opinion, you guys. Anyway, but I love this one so much. There were a lot of good pinks. OPI also had Hi Barbie, which was one of my favorites. I wore that to the Barbie movie premiere. Loved that one as well. I also had a hard time deciding if I should put in Shopaholic by Cirque Colors, which came out, and I think that was a re-release. Correct me if I'm wrong. That one's definitely more neon, and that one's a little bit warmer. And then also from the China Glaze Hello Sugar collection, which was fantastic. I almost put in Kid in a Candy Store, and that one's a little bit warmer as well, and that's more of a neon. This is very bright. I would say it's like leaning towards neon, but it's not quite as neon. But I just went with this one, and who knows, next week I might be wanting Shopaholic to be in my favorites, and I'll probably regret at least some decision I made in this video, but I have to go with what I'm feeling right now, and this is the one that won overall. And then speaking of the China Glaze Hello Sugar collection, this is here for Candy, and this one is fantastic, you guys. I love this one so much. I love any pale pinks, but this one just has a brightness to it. It's almost neon, and it looks so beautiful with tan skin. Man, I just wore this one all summer. I probably put it on 3 times, I would say. In fact, that whole Hello Sugar line was the best collection of the year in my opinion. I loved every shade and every one. It just was so good. The Essie Spring collection was good too, and we'll talk about that in a minute because I have one from that collection as well. But anyway, I love this pink. By the way, I have reviews of all of these, so you can see those comparisons in those reviews when I get to them. This one also reminds me of one of my favorite Essie polishes from years ago called Saved by the Bell, and so I just like these cooler toned pale pinks. They're just some of my favorites to wear. This is from the Mystical Mist collection, and it is called Midnight Mirage. This one is harder for everyone to get, but I love this green so much. It's a cooler tone green, it's mid-tone, it's a little bit darker. It's just a little bit unusual, I feel. I just love the cooler color tone of it and the white in it, and the formula is just really fantastic. It goes on so nice, and it has adds just a little bit of pop. It really reminded me of China Glaze Head to Mojitos. Oh, that is one of my favorite polishes. I do like that one a little bit better. That was released a couple years ago. I believe you can still get that. I'll try to link that down below because this was a little bit harder to get, and I think you can get the China Glaze one. I just love that China Glaze one because it's a little bit more plasticky looking. I don't know why I like those plastic looking polishes, but if you've worn them, you'll kind of know what I'm talking about. Just bright and plasticky and just shiny, and I don't know, I just love that polish so much. But this is a close polish to that one, and I love it. This is my number 3. This is Essie Perfectly Peculiar, and it is so beautiful, you guys. I love these cool tone greens. This one is a little bit more lime leaning, but not enough to make it lime. It's still a mint, and I love that about it. So it's a little bit warmer. I had a hard time deciding between this one and its High Time. Probably spent 5 minutes trying to figure out which one to put in here. I'm gonna hold that one up so you guys can see. They are pretty close. My lights are pretty bright, but its High Time is a little bit softer even though it's still bright. And it's a little, I mean, it's a hint muted, and it's a little bit more blue leaning. So while they look pretty close here in the bottles, they are a little bit different, but I love them both probably equally. This one just was a little over the edge because it was a little bit brighter, and I just, if you're gonna go for bright, I mean, you might as well go for pretty bright because I just think that's fun in the summertime. And so this one kind of won overall. And then I was gonna hold up Voodoo, because I know a lot of you said in my video you wanted to see that compared to it, and it's quite a bit lighter, hint more yellow, and brighter. So they are different, and this is going to be a neon, so it's definitely going to be brighter. They are a little bit different. Just wanted to mention that. And I also love the green from the new Just Chill collection that wasn't available here in the US. It was available in the UK and select European countries. That one's a little lighter, quite a bit lighter and more mintier, and that one's called Take a Dip. So you can see that's quite a bit lighter. Those were all the greens I was debating between, and it basically came down to Perfectly Peculiar from the Odd Squad collection. And I realized that I haven't even posted that on Instagram yet. That review went up earlier this month, and I haven't even had the chance to post it. It's been a busy year. I missed a few collections getting posted on Instagram, so make sure you're watching my YouTube reviews. I didn't get the Barbie collection on Instagram either, I noticed, so I need to be more on it this next year. I think I'll have a little more time on my hands, but love this one. And then my number 2 from the Essie Spring collection, which was another great collection, and I had a hard time deciding which one I liked. As you can see, I almost picked It's High Time from that collection, but the one that I went with in that collection was Don't Burst My Bubble in this beautiful periwinkle shade. It's a little bit brighter and a little more purple than it's showing up here, and it is just perfection, you guys. So good. I love it so much. It's probably closest to You Do Blue. I did some comparisons that you can see in that review, minus the shimmer, and this one's quite a bit brighter. But if I had to compare it to anything, that would be the closest that I have. So it's a little bit different. It's more purple and a little bit brighter than Dreams Need Clarification from OPI, which is one of my favorite OPI polishes. And so I just love it because it's a little bit different. And like I said, I really love those bright polishes that kind of have a pop, especially in the summertime. And these are getting me so excited for spring and summer, but I need to just relax because it hasn't even snowed very much here. I feel like winter hasn't even really started, and we still got a few months to go for that, but man, this is getting me excited. Such a good one. And like I said, there's lots of great ones in that collection, so check out my review if you haven't. And if you have, hopefully you have some from that collection. Okay. Dun dun dun, drum roll. We're gonna go to my number 1 polish. And I think you can guess what collection it's from because I already said it was my favorite collection of the year. And that was the China Glaze Hollow Sugar collection. This is Gimme Sugar. And it is beautiful, you guys. It's a beautiful, bright peach with a lot of white in it. It's really really neonish on your nails. And then like I mentioned, it's perfect with a tan. I'm super excited that this is my number one and I want to wear it again. It's not quite the right time though, but man, so beautiful. I hope you guys were able to pick any of these up, and especially this one because I think I did talk about it quite a bit. I wore it quite a few times and I had it on my Instagram stories a couple times. But anyway, love this one so much. I did a favorite peach coral video a few months back and this was included in it. I love any peach polishes, and this one reminds me a lot of Vandigo, and it reminds me of Beachy Keen. It's a little bit lighter and brighter than those, so it's kind of like a cousin, a little lighter, a little younger, a little more fun than those ones, and so this is my number one. Such a dreamy, dreamy polish. Do you guys have this one? Let me know down below. That's it. A lot more polishes that I could mention, but those were the ones that I picked for my top 10, and I hope you guys enjoyed that, and I hope you guys have a good new year, and we will see you when the holiday's over and I get back into the swing of things. So thanks so much for watching. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks. Bye.